Welcome to News for Guitar. Today we interview Mr. Jonathan Gangi. Hi, Mr. Gangi. It's very nice to speak to you. How are you?
Hello, Andrea. I'm doing very well. Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to you and Massimo Della Chese and Alessandro Minci for the invitation to be a performer earlier in September for Mario Gangi month, and also now to be interviewed. It's a great pleasure, and I want to say, so I don't speak Italian, but I know a few words, but I'll say ciao tutti to News for Guitar. Yes, so thank you for having me.
We can start the interview speaking about your name. Mario Gangi was a great performer, a great teacher in Italy. How do American guitarists think about him?
Yeah, so in general, I think that Mario Gangi is not very well known in America, here in the US. I have a few colleagues, classical guitarists, professional musicians who know of him, but in general, he's not very well known in America, which is sad, and that's something I'm hoping to fix.
How did you know Mario Gangi?
Yeah, so let's see if oh man, the green screen's not working. So Verbane publishes it's a transcription by Carlo Carfana of Johann Sebastian Bach's Prelude 1 from the Well-Tempered Clavier. And a long time ago, during my undergraduate classical guitar studies, I think I had a wedding performance and I needed to play the Prelude 1 from Bach's Well-Tempered Clavier. And I just was looking for a transcription of it. And so I bought the one published by Verbane in Italy. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but they publish a lot of the Gangi Carfana transcriptions. And so when I bought that, the Bach Prelude transcription, on the back, it listed other works through the publisher, and a lot of them had the last name Gangi on it. And of course, that's my name, G-A-N-G-I, right? And I thought, wait a minute, who's this person with the same last name as me? You know, who's this other? So that's how I first became aware of who Mario Gangi is and was. And so, are you familiar with Guitar Solo Publications? They're a guitar sheet music company in San Francisco. Well, if not, no worries, but they had a few other pieces by Mario Gangi. And so I got the three little pieces, Incontri, Nina Nana Apabu, and Fiaba. So those are the first three pieces by Mario that I ever knew of. And I remember when I first started learning Incontri and Nina Nana Apabu, I thought, these feel like something that I would have written. I just really connected to them. Some of the harmonies that are in there are some that I really like. And so as soon as I started learning it, I was just really felt connected to Mario's music. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and I found out about the sonatina. So that was the next piece I learned. Yeah, so that's how I found out about him. And then, so in 2005, the Guitar Foundation of America Festival and Competition was held in Oberlin at the Oberlin Conservatory. And I knew a little bit about Mario Gangi then, and I just happened to drive Manuel Barrueco to the airport after his concert, because my teacher, Steve Aaron, was the host for the Guitar Foundation of America Festival. But anyway, as I was driving Barrueco to the airport, I asked him if he knew Mario Gangi, because I was trying to get a hold of someone, trying to connect with him somehow. And Manuel knew who he was. And so I got Barrueco's email, and then I emailed Manuel Barrueco, and then he emailed someone in Rome, and he got Mario's mailing address. And so then I actually got someone to translate a letter into Italian and mailed him a letter. This was back in 2005. And I believe his granddaughter, Ava, responded. So I had some correspondence with them then. I was just curious if we were related. And yes, also Lorenzo Micheli, you know Lorenzo? He and Matteo Mela, yeah, of course you know them. They were also in Oberlin at the GFA that year. And so I was asking them, and they of course knew who Mario Gangi was. And so that was kind of my first interaction with other Italian guitarists who knew who Mario was. And but really, even then, nobody in America really knew who he was, which is sad. So yeah. So that's how I first became aware of him. And I actually, like I said, I was in contact with some of his family, and but then I didn't really do anything for about 10 years. So I kind of, at that point, I just knew the sonatina and the three little pieces, Incontri, Nana Apabu, and Fiaba. So.
Thanks. Could you explore and check if you are related to Mario Gangi?
Yeah, so a few years ago, do you know the Facebook group? I think it's Classical Guitar World or something like that. I was trying to find someone who knew some of Mario Gangi's family. And so I posted in there, and then Massimo Della Chese responded, and he said, yes, I know Susanna Gangi. And so he gave me her Facebook page, and then I was able to meet Susanna on Facebook. And I asked her if we're related, and I don't know for sure. We don't know. But I do know, so my great-great-grandfather, Rosario Gangi, was from Santa Caterina Villahermosa in Sicily. And he came to the US in 1904. So I know that on my father's side of the family, we are from Sicily. A few generations ago, 4 generations ago. And from what Susanna Gangi told me, Mario's father and grandfather and great-grandfather are from Palermo, Sicily. So the best I can say is, I don't know for sure, but we're all from Sicily at one point, so I think it's close enough. And as I'm sure you know, maybe you've been there, there's a little town in Sicily called Gangi. And so with our last name, so we're from Sicily. I don't know if we're directly related, but we've got to be connected in some way.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, Andrea, so I found out Mario's father, and Mario too, played double bass, right? Upright bass.
Yes.
My great-grandfather, Vincent Gangi, here in the US, he played jazz bass in jazz big bands. And he also was a band director on cruise ships in the Mediterranean. So he was a music director for multiple jazz bands on cruise ships in the Mediterranean for a long time. That was his career. So in my family, we have musicians multiple generations back. and also a history with the upright bass, which also is in Mario's family, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of connections.
And please tell us something about your story. For example, where did you study? Where are you teaching? Future projects?
Sure. Yeah, so I studied classical guitar with Stephen Aaron at the University of Akron. He also teaches at Oberlin Conservatory. I did my undergraduate and master's degrees with him in classical guitar performance. And then I have a doctorate in classical guitar performance from the University of South Carolina, and I studied with Christopher Berg at the University of South Carolina. So that's my training. I currently work at Penn State University. I'm a professor here at Penn State. I teach guitar and also arts entrepreneurship. So I help our arts students with the career side of things. And so one of my projects is, it's soon to be released. It's called Gangi Plays Gangi, the guitar works of Mario Gangi. So I'll be releasing a new album of all Mario Gangi music, which I'm really excited about. I finished recording a few months in August, really, and then it's being edited now, and hopefully it'll be released in the soon, in a few months.
And can you tell us about your next CD?
Yeah, so my next CD is it's called, I'm calling it Gangi Plays Gangi. I think the other title will be Delizioso, but it has
the name is very beautiful. Gangi Plays Gangi.
Yes, yeah, and I hope to make many recordings because Mario has so many compositions and arrangements. You can't fit them all on one album, right? So I hope to have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. So the first one coming out soon.
And how is considered guitar in Penn State?
Yes, so let's see, I've been at Penn State for about 6 years now. So before I started working here at Penn State, there hadn't been a guitar program for a long time, maybe 20, 30 years. So it's a new program. I'm really happy to be able to be starting it up. And it's new but growing, and I hope to recruit more students. So actually, if there's anyone in Italy who wants to come to America after the pandemic, of course, after COVID is done, if anyone wants to come to Penn State and study guitar, it'd be great to have some Italian students come over, especially if you want to do a graduate level degree. So new program, but growing, and I'm looking for more students.
Thanks. And what do you think about new generation of guitarists?
Yeah, so boy, the level is going way up, right? I think now there are so many very young guitarists playing very well, both in terms of technique and musicality and professionalism. So I think what Segovia started, quite last century, I think it's really developed to a high level. It's almost, for some students, it's almost frightening how good they are when they're so little, right? When they're so young. So I think the new generation is very impressive. I would say though, Andrea, and maybe others would agree, sometimes I think that there's maybe such a focus on technique that the artistry and the musicality sometimes maybe is not as developed. So I think, of course, it's not across the board. Some players are incredibly gifted technically and musically, But I think sometimes you see virtuoso guitarists, young guitarists who are incredible technicians, and maybe the artistic interpretation side of things could be better. So I think in general the new generation is quite good. We just got to be careful not to be too focused on technique and forget about artistry.
Do you want to tell something to News for Guitar audience?
Yes. So for me, being from having family from Sicily, it's really special to be part of this and to be able to connect with a classical guitar audience in Italy and also around the world. And so it's just, this is really special to me, and I really enjoy this. And if you, like I said, if anyone wants to come to Penn State and study guitar, please get in touch with me. It would be great to have some students from Italy or anywhere in the world. One other interesting thing, Andrea, is I think one of your questions was about projects of mine. So as a guitarist, you know this, we often use a footstool, right? Or a guitar support, and there's lots of different guitar supports out there instead of a footstool. Well, I've invented, and I have a patent on a new version of a guitar support, which I am really excited about. So I just want to tell everyone that once it's ready, you could check it out, because I'm hopeful and confident it's going to feel strong and secure like a footstool, but it's made out of wood, and it's hard to describe, but when it's ready, maybe we can do a video on here or something to let people know about it. So it's a cool project that I'm working on, but for me, the footstool really does cause some problems with my back and things like that. So I'm really making this for me and then other guitarists as well. So that's just a maybe hopefully interesting bit of information.
Thanks. So interview is finished, and I hope to see you very soon. And thanks.